Chuck repair today, but only we're doing a drill chuck.
We're going to do this drill chuck.
You said it's really bad, so what's really bad about it?
Well, I will show you. You see when I close it?
Yeah.
What's it look like in there?
That triangle looks a bit big.
Well, let me see. We got this little chunk of nail right here. So if I want to use a drill bit this size,
it ain't gonna fit.
It won't hold it, right? Because somebody wallered these all out. So if you look at the new chucks, jaws, and hopefully these are the right parts, right? You see that sharp corner right there?
Yeah.
So when these close up, they should close up completely. You can already kind of see where they're going to do it, right? See how they close up complete? Mm-hmm. Well, if you compare that to that.
Oh, that's whole
Right. Way different, right? So that hole is all wallered out, which means these jaws are kind of worn out. So we're going to try to change them. But changing chuck jaws, it's both not hard and kind of difficult because there's no screws. See?
Then how do you get the darn thing apart?
We'll have to press it apart. So there's a couple things to notice. Uh-oh, now I tightened it up too much. There we go. A couple things to notice. This one has a Morse 2 taper at the back. And someone's kind of boogered up there, but it still fits, right? Mm-hmm. So this fits into our lathe, right? Mm-hmm. And if we wanted to take this off, this is also pressed into this. So this is not part of the chuck. This is part of a Morse 2 adapter, a chuck adapter. And sometimes, if you look in there, sometimes there's a screw. This one doesn't have a screw, but sometimes there's a screw in the, like the drills. Mm-hmm. This one, in order to get that thing out, if I wanted to take this out, I'd put this on a block and I'd press in from the middle and I'd push that middle part out. We don't need to take that part out. What we need to take out is this outer ring. See that line right there?
Yep.
Right there is what holds that in there. So if we take this chuck and we want to get our jaws all the way down, because the jaws are what move, but this part here, this doesn't move. So we want to set this so where something holds that very edge, like this. And then we want to take this and press it down where we're going to smack it with a hammer. I do have a press in the barn, but usually these come right out if you just kind of tap on them with like a brass hammer or something.
I knew we need to whack it with a hammer.
Or maybe even a rubber hammer. We'll try a plastic hammer. We don't want to damage this part, right? So we'll try to press it out of there. So first thing we got to do is we got to set this on something. And we're going to try to vise first, but we could put like a pipe. If we had a cylinder that's just right to fit in there, we could press it into a pipe, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to try the vise. So we don't have a camera on our vise. So I'm going to pause the video. We're going to go give it a couple whacks and see if we can get it apart. And then we'll come back. Okay?
So we got it in the vise, we hit it with the hammer, and it didn't work, so we're going to go out to the press and press it out.
Yeah, it moved just a bit, but I don't have a good brass hammer or a lead hammer, and I don't want to booger this all up. So rather than messing it all up, let's go take it out to the press in the shop, right?
Yep.
It's a little bit of a walk, but we'll go do it, and we'll press this off, and we'll come back and we'll have a look at it and see what the guts look like, and see if these are in the right guts. They're supposed to be, and they look like they got to be pretty close, right? But whether they fit or not, I don't know.
I probably wouldn't be able to whack it with a hammer, but I may be able to press it.
Yeah, maybe. Let's go see if we can get something set up in the press. Alright, so the light's not very good in here because, well, it's not for filming, it's for working, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's the chuck. We got it resting on these press plates, and we got this press, and we're going to try to push that out. So make sure everything's all tight. Find the handle. Where is the press handle at? Oh, it'll be around here somewhere.
This might work.
I don't think that's the press handle though. I wonder where it went. Somebody had to have moved it, right? Mm-hmm. Is it under the fire, the stove? Under there maybe?
Nope. I think it may be.
Somewhere it may be? Yeah. Well, I don't think it should be any place other than here. I think somebody might be moving my stuff.
Couldn't have been me.
Couldn't have been you? Alright, so we found the handle. It was on the bench. We got to make sure this thing here is tight because this is how you release it. You can't see it in the camera, but that releases it. Alright, that goes there. So slowly, start cranking her. You got to go up. Only works when you pull down. Alright, go down. Keep going. I'm gonna get where it touches that chuck.
Wish I had something to stand on so I could get the full stroke.
Or you want me to get it down there and then you can do the last? Or you got it?
I think I got it.
All right, well the whole point is it to move slow, right? Hold on, let me get her adjusted. I only got one hand, so we need to push these back a little bit and center it. We want to push in the center of it, right? All right, keep going. Keep on going. We're getting closer. Gotta close up that gap. I'm gonna make sure this is setting on there good. Seems all right. You're all right, keep going. My fingers ain't under it. When we start getting pressure on it, we'll have to be more careful, but it shouldn't take that much pressure. You're getting there. Wind's blowing pretty bad, isn't it? All right, keep going. You're about to touch. All right, right there you're touching. Now, if you go up and pull it down, you gotta do it a couple times. Now, what you're watching for is for this to slip off that metal. You don't want that to happen, so go ahead.
We just went tying.
It just moved. There you go. Keep going. It's just moving.
Are the springs like stuck?
Though some of those springs on top are, that's what you're hearing, that spring is where the springs are going. It's not stuck. All right, hold on, let me check it here. So what we're trying to make sure is that it doesn't slide off these plates. We're good, I think. We're watching for it to move. Keep on. Trick is we don't want to lose our parts. So when it comes apart, is it getting too hard?
I think it's moving.
Okay. We'll see this hole. See that hole right there? I don't know if they can see it on the camera, but that hole was big enough, high enough to get a chuck key in before, right?
Yeah.
So we're moving it. Keep going. Should come easier soon. We should have it broke loose. It should just start moving now. Is it moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should just keep moving now.
Get ready.
You're getting there. Is it hard to do or easy?
Easy.
All right, so we're probably all about there. Keep on going though. We'll get it all pressed out. Hydraulics work by making little tiny motions go, or big motions go really tiny, right? That's what you're doing. You're moving that handle like 1.5 feet, but the head of this is only moving like 1/8 of an inch. Oh, is it getting too hard?
Yeah.
All right, let me see what we got. Not moving that hard. All right, hold the camera.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get this picked up. All right, so there's our parts. And they pressed apart. We're still in there a little bit. We're coming loose. See it moving?
Yep.
We're still, there we go. And this is our split gear. Are you looking at me or you look through the camera? This is our split gear and we have a new one of these. So what we gotta do is we gotta go in the shop and we'll clean this all up. And a little rust in there is the problem. See that? We'll get all these parts changed and then we'll press it back together.
I'll keep filling as we go to the shop.
You think that'll be fun film? Just watching us walk across the yard?
Yeah, might be fun for them to experience all of the wind.
All of the wind? All right.
Yep, it'll blow leaves everywhere.
There we go.
Soon it might even be able to blow over that truck. Get down, tornado, people! I bet you wish you were here. Ah, no.
Go to the shop or what?
We're going to the shop.
Go!
Now we're in a nice warm home.
You make them dizzy with all the walking?
Probably.
All right, so let's get all the parts. All right, I think we can see. Well, oh, camera mount moved. Oh, All right, so old parts, new parts. So the first thing we gotta check Now that I got it stuck back together, is make sure these old parts and the new parts are the same size, right? That was stuck in there pretty good. Not a very good chug. Look at that, where it's seized up. I'll have to clean that up. That ain't good. All right, so this and this should be the same size.
Hey.
They're pretty close. I think it'll probably work. So we gotta get this one loose. It's got a little burr there. We'll have to clean that burr up. Let's see if we can persuade it to come out of there. Come on. You can do it! There we go. Old parts. And then these should push out. Awful stiff, aren't they? Let me get something to push with. Screwdriver, right? Might need to tap them out of there. Those are. I'm surprised this worked that good. It's kind of stiff and yucky. Got enough hands.
All that dirt and crap coming out of there.
All right, one of them. Almost cheaper to buy used chucks if they're good than to rebuild them, because these bits, the teeth or the new jaws aren't cheap. But I rebuild them because we have the parts, right?
From what I've learned, pliers usually never work.
There we go. Is that going to come out now?
Well, they don't work for me.
Ah, it's too slippery. I can't grab onto it. And these are hardened, so the jaws of the pliers don't walk into them good, right? Parts are hardened. Oh, maybe someday. There. 2. Alright. There's quite a bit of rust in there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Grab it to clean that off. A wire brush at the very least. We might have to actually get glasses. Yeah, no glasses on, dude. Flinging stuff around the shop. Alright. So there's a lot of burrs that got risen on this. So if you feel around here, there's a pretty big chip right there.
Sounds like it.
And there's a lot of damage there where it galled onto that or something. Looks like it got hot. Doesn't it? Like something here got really hot. I don't know how you managed to do that, but
I bet they torched it.
they might have heated up in the past, I guess. Like I said, I bought it used, so I guess they could have put a torch on it. But let's knock this burr off of here. Get this all cleaned up. Yeah, someone is really... We might be in the market for a new chuck anyway, you know why?
Because...
Looks like someone really wrecked this one. We'll see if we can get back together working though, right?
Yeah.
But I bought it used, so who knows what someone's done to it. We don't want to get this too loose, so we can't take too much cleanup on it. Just want to make sure it still goes. You don't want it to get loose in there. Just don't want to be able to press it back together. Alright, so there's that. Probably should soak this in some kind of solvent.
That would be the longest video on Earth.
Well, we'd have to do it overnight probably, or at least for an hour or two, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do here with this. Look at all that crap that fell out of it on the bench there. Look at that. Yeah.
If you found that on your teeth, that'd be a really long and painful dentist trip.
And brushing your teeth, your teeth look like that, right? I really like to get something in there and clean those grooves out where the teeth were sticking, the jaws were sticking. Let's see if we can find something that'll do that. Make sure this didn't... Yeah, see, it's not galled in here. I don't know what they did to make that ugly. There's nothing galled in here. It's almost like they... Oh no. That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen one that galled looked like that. Paper towel, that's what I'm looking for. Got lost there for a second. I don't remember what I was looking for.
We won't show you the rest of the bench, but it's dirty as, well, the whole shop combined pile on the floor would be.
Well, it's a workbench, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do. I work on it, and I mess stuff up on it, and I clean stuff on it like this. And that makes it messy. Alright, we're getting closer. Get it all cleaned up. Did you see how they worked?
These rings would go on these teeth, making them go in and out like the lathe chuck.
One of the things that bothers people that don't know about chucks and haven't rebuilt them before is they see this ring and they immediately think, oh, it's broken. But do you know why it's in 2 pieces?
So you can get the jaws out.
So we can get it on. Those rings go right here. And if they didn't come in 2 pieces, how in the world would you ever get them on there? You'd never make it, right? So they have to be in 2 pieces so you can install them. And what happens is when you put this cover back on and press it on, it squeezes those 2 parts together, and then they work as 1 piece, even though they're come apart as 2. They have to be in 2 pieces, though, or you'll never get apart. All right, we need some kind of cleaner. Let's see what we got. We got some wax and grease remover and some paint there. Might even have some mineral spirits, which might be a little better for this. A little bit of mineral spirits. Get in there. Mineral spirits should clean. If that's a normal grease wax, the normal mineral spirit should do it. And if it doesn't do it, we have some wax and grease remover too that we could try, right? We want to get that off of there. Clean it all the way up, make it look pretty. Make it work better too. This stuff's not too smelly, is it?
Not too smelly.
It's a little stinky. This says odorless mineral spirits. It's not. It still stinks, right? I'm not sure what odorless means. It still stinks. I'm gonna guess it's not as stinky as it could be, maybe. Still pretty smelly, right?
They probably mean won't kill you.
You won't fumigate you, right? You can still breathe. What we need to do is get in these little grooves that the jaws go in. See if we can clean those out too, right? See if we can get something in there to wipe those out too. A little bit, maybe. Oop, turn my towel up. Paper towel in there. Hey, that came out pretty good. Like, almost looked like I did on purpose. All right, so these are the new ones. And they are supposed to go in here. And they're supposed to slide in there halfway decent. That's not bad. It goes in pretty good, right? That's how the other ones are supposed to come out. You see how it's supposed to slide in and out like that?
Yeah.
Way better than the other ones, right? It's about there. Probably that's too far. Probably only goes to about here. Yeah, those work pretty good. So what we got is we've got that one starts with that tooth. Remember when we did the 3-jaw chuck?
Yeah.
How we had to start with 1 tooth first?
Yeah.
And they had to go in order. Well, if you look at these, if I put this one here, we're looking for kind of a ramp. See, tooth, tooth, tooth. You see that? How it makes like a step?
Yep.
That's the way we want them to go in. So we want this one to go in here. Ouch. Turn that. There you go. 1. And we want the second one to go next to it. So the steps will work together, right? And we want the third one to go last. So hopefully they'll work in the step pattern that we need, right? Come on, get in there. There you go. Now let's see what we get. All the way down the bottom. Ta-da.
Those are the old rings, I think.
Yeah, you might be right. Might be right. Well, let's use the new ones. Let's use the new ones, why don't we?
Well,
Good
duh.
distance grease. Alright. So we want those all the way down, all the way around. We want to turn these. What do you think? Gonna close up, right? Pretty good, right?
Not all to do it.
Alright, well, let's lower back down. Alright, what we're trying to do is get that to go down. There we go, past the housing. so that we can press on it, right? Because we don't want to press on these jaws, that'll break those teeth off. We want to press on this housing. So we want to get it down to there, thusly. Now, we don't want to lose that. Make sure this is semi-clean. Probably as good as it's going to get, right? And then we need to press this back on. Like that. So when you go back up the shop, or the barn, press this on. You might have been able to pound this on with the mallet, but since we already got the press, we'll just go use that, okay? Alright. There we go. Don't make them too dizzy.
I will make you dizzy. You are now in a trance.
Looks like we're about to get some rain.
Yep. Nice
pretty
and
bad.
cloudy.
Looks like we're gonna get some rain. I guess it just did dry up from the last one, right? Maybe we're due for rain.
And they look like storm clouds too.
They do.
We ain't gonna get just a drizzle. Head for the barn!
There's a lot of water in those clouds.
Soon it'll come pouring down on us. And we're gonna close the door. Didn't mean to slam her. Back into the pour, lots of pours here, lighting.
Okay. So we need something that this will fit through. That fits through pretty good, really, that one. So we have a thicker one, though. One of these would be better because they're not going to break that, right?
Are
that'll
these
fit.
Parts that you'd use to change bearings on trucks?
They are, but see, they'll hold up the press. Are you looking at me or are you looking at the camera, dude? They can't see what you're talking about. They're to change car bearings, wheel bearings, but they work good on the press because you're supposed to press on them, right?
Yeah.
So they'll work good for this. It'll hold that because our press plate here, if you look at it, has a hole in it, but it's not the right size hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, get that up all the way.
And I'll be able to press it some more.
Maybe. Uh-oh. We gotta adjust the table down. All right, let me move the table down. Are we about so I can get this one? All right.
That might also make it easier for me to use it.
Well, the handle's still gonna be the same height. We just moved the press down. Now, we can't press on top of here. We need to press on this ring to press that down. So we need to find something that'll fit over the top of that. Preferably something that isn't terribly hard. We don't want to break a bunch of stuff, right?
Better pick this pipe up.
What size that is? That might do it. That might do it. We need it to clear this, but be kind of soft. And this is water pipe, so it's a soft steel. And we're going to try to press it on gently, so hopefully it won't break nothing, right? So we got that. I got that. Now I need something to put on top of that. Like that, right?
Yep.
And then maybe even, probably pushing my luck now, something to take up this space. Oh, look at that.
Well, you gotta figure it out fast because we only got 16 minutes left of
Doesn't
battery.
fit. Well, we have another battery in the shop. We'll be okay. All right, let me see what else we got then.
If it dies, we'll stop immediately and bring you back.
How about that? That might do it, right?
Yeah.
Could go a little closer, but I bet we can crank her down that far. This has a pretty good amount of travel. Alright, so what we're watching for is for parts to fly out of here. We don't want parts to fly out, right? And we're watching this bottom. See that bottom? will reach a point where it stops right about there. And we'll see what it looks like. I might have to go down more, but let's see what it looks like and make sure we don't have anything stuck. Make sure nothing's stuck. That pipe is a little stuck in there. I was worried it wasn't quite big enough. See it stuck in there? I think we'll be able to knock it out of there though. I'm trying to see if we need to press it down a little farther though. See this edge? We want that to be in there all the way. I think we are. Give it just a couple more cranks just to make sure we're down all the way, and then we'll call her good. And then we'll knock that pipe off of it. I should have went with a slightly bigger pipe, but that's the one I could find easy, right? Make sure we're down all the way. I think we are. All right, probably good enough. Put all our press ties back because we need those. And no one wants to have to go search for them when we need them, right?
Probably also never think to check on the press.
All right, let's see if we can knock this thing off of here. I need a light hammer. I have a light hammer. I think I got a big hammer. Yeah, it'll come off. There you go. All right, now we'll look at her. Okay, it's gonna work. It's got a little stiff spot there. Put a chuck in there and see if it can get, if it'll close up all the way. It still wants to close. It's got a little burr in there or something, but we'll see if we can get a chuck key in it cleaned up. There's a burr in there, and I think that wheel's hitting it. Remember I was trying to get those burrs off?
Yeah.
It goes past it. The chuck key will get it past that, but yeah, I think we're in good shape. Let's go chuck it up in the lathe. Put a chuck key in it, see what happens.
As soon as we get back to the shop, change the battery in this.
You think so?
Yeah. You gotta run from the rain, people! Wish I had a motorcycle right now.
So the tail stock on the big lathe uses a number 2, but the head stock on this one uses a number 2, so we can test it over here. So what we need to do, oops, we need to pop this in here. Well, don't show, they're not wanting to look at the floor, dude. You gotta watch what you're looking at. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this in like that, and we'll see if it closes all the way. If I can keep the chuck key in there. You looking at the jaws? Where they're closing? All right, so what does it look like in there? It's a little close. It's not quite closed. Well, that dude, you're gonna have it in their lap. I don't know. Actually, let's see. I got it closed all the way, I think. All right, you see it? You know how to zoom, right? You look at the jaws, then use this. There you go. Are they closed? Can't focus. Focus.
Focus, you fool.
Focus. Anyway, if we could focus. All right, so they're closed all the way. Chuck key back in it, we'll open them. It's a little stiff. I need to clean up all those burrs, but it's a really old drill chuck anyway, right? Not too bad once you get past those burrs, though. Look at it go now. You can probably spin that by hand. That's how it should work, right?
Yep.
And then we're all the way open. We might be able, if we use it a lot, it might just work those out, you know what? There's a stiff spot there, and it starts getting stiff right here. Right there is a pretty good stiff spot, but remember it didn't close up before at all, so a stiff spot right here. If we polished all that up, we might do better. But you know what? For my shop, this would be a good chuck. Works good enough, right? Good enough for what we work on. That's a stiff spot. Well, once you get past the stiff spot, it really goes though, doesn't it? Look at that. Once you get past that spot, it really goes. All right, so this is a number 34 chuck. We got it mostly rebuilt, right? A little stiff, but not too bad. So let's drive this chuck out of here. I don't think that's long enough to do it. I need my Yeah, I need my tool. Oh, it's long enough, just barely. Gotta knock it on there. Not too bad. I think the chuck jaws are worth more than the chuck at this point. But you know, what are you gonna do, right? Put it up here. And I like to keep the chuck key in it so we know where it is when we need it, right? Make sense?
Yep.
So I wonder, this one, this chuck, I don't think these jaws are too bad. They're still walled out. You see that walled out spot?
Yeah.
This one is a number 11. So we might be able to get some jaws for that. We'll see if they're too expensive, I think, but we'll see. We got a number 11 there, and I have another number 34 up here. This is our other number 34. Oh, this is a 34B. You know what the B means?
Bad taper.
Bearings.
Bearings.
It has bearings in it, which is supposed to make it move smoother, but it only works smooth until it gets all crudded up. But this one does work smoother, see? So it has bearings. You know how we got that ring in there?
Yep.
This one has bearings in it too, which is just makes an extra bunch of pieces. I'm not sure if we really need the extra pieces, but yeah. So that one's good. That one's good. This one's just crooked, but I think it's this adapter that's crooked. I think the chuck's good. I think the adapter's crooked. And that adapter closes up pretty good, right? But I think we need a new Morse adapter here. So maybe we'll order one of those, press this one out, and see if we can get... This one wobbles. And I think it's that adapter that makes it wobble. That's why I marked all the marker on it, right? To let me know it's wobbly. We could press that out and put a new Morse 2 adapter in there. Maybe we'll order one of those. I think that's all the drill chucks. Well, we got this one. The size of that one. That's a lot bigger. And this is a number 3 taper because it goes in the headstock of this lathe, right? Way bigger. This one opens up to 3/4, I think.
I just tricked you by zooming it.
Yeah.
It ain't that big.
Yeah, this one opens up to 3/4. It's a bigger chuck, but I don't use this one as much. If I want to drill something, I usually do it from the tailstock end. Alright, I think that's all the drill chucks we have, right?
Introducing a very small chuck. I'm going to zoom it just to trick you too.
You learned how to zoom now you got to play with it?
Yeah, if it'll focus.
Well, you get too close, it won't focus. I suppose we could check and see if this... I don't think it does, though. We can compare the leftover chucks parts. You get it? We can compare this to these chucks that we took out. The jaws. I bet they're not the same size. We could order more Jacobs chuck parts, but I bet they're not. The only way that this would be the problem, I bet they got different jaws. I don't know if we can get this one apart without going back out to the barn to press it apart or not. What do you think? Worth it? Not worth it?
Probably worth it.
You want to play? You're still playing?
I'm still playing.
All right. Well, let's get this. Come on, put it. We don't want to hook. We don't want to hook those teeth. So we want to get them just about flush, and see if we can get this out. Try our plastic hammer again first. Otherwise, you might have to go out the barn and press this one too. Which, if we have to, we can. But it'd be nice if one of them would just come out nice, right? Because you can do this without a press. Are you looking at me or looking at the part? You can do this without a press, but only if the chuck isn't completely already boogered up, right? The other chuck we had was completely boogered up. This one's not in bad shape, though. See it come apart? Knock some paint off. So, these are probably not the same as those. First of all, I already noticed the ring's different, right? So we're probably not going to be able to reuse those jaws. These are different jaws, and that's all there is to it. Which is a shame, because this is a good working chuck. It just doesn't have good jaws. See? Not going to fit. Completely different teeth, right?
Yep.
I don't know if I can get jaws for this. It doesn't have a brand name on it. I'd have to do some research. But it'd be nice if we could get jaws for this. It's a good working chuck. It just... somebody chewed up all the jaws on it. Probably need cleaned up too. Pretty yucky in there.
Yeah.
Pretty yucky in there. Same thing. So, if someone wants to rebuild his home, you look at the table, or what are you staring at here, bud? If someone wants to rebuild his home, that's how they're supposed to come apart. You don't really, a press is nice, but if you get a plastic mallet like this and set it so you don't damage the parts, you can drive these apart. You don't want to bang on the jaws like that. You want to keep the jaws low, like this, so that you can hammer on this surface and not on the fronts of the jaws, so that's important.
But not too low or you'll strip the teeth.
Well, then when the cover comes off, these come down, right? Mm-hmm. And see how they stick out below this? So if you look at this housing, there's a cutaway in here that those teeth go into, so you don't want them that low. That's why when I put the jaws on, get that dirt out of there. You're looking at me or the table again? Can you see what you're doing? You're looking at me? I can't tell what you're looking at.
I'm looking at your hand.
So when I put these on, I crank the jaws up a little bit so that these aren't sticking down so far. Otherwise, when I put that housing on, they would hit that. So you want to get them up, not even with the end, because you still want to be able to use this as a surface, but enough that they'll clear this, right?
Yep.
And you want to pop this back on. And then when we press it back together, we're still going to hit our teeth, see it?
Yeah.
See if we can get this to turn them down some more. Yeah, it's not grabbing it. I'll have to take it back off. Of course it's not grabbing onto it. That'd be too easy. Well, so we don't want those hanging down to where the jaw will hit it. That'll work. There we go. And now we can press that back together. Or in our case, smack it with a hammer. Press would be better. If we took it out the shop, we could use a press at the barn, because I'm not going to be able to do this by hand unless I put it in the vise and bang on it for real, right? We'll press it back together out in the barn some other day, or do you want to go out and do it right now?
We'll do it right now.
Do it right now?
Yeah.
All right.
Like
So
you
take out
already
the-
haven't been bored out
Well,
of
I'm
your
already
face.
greasy, so I guess. I probably could pound this back together with a plastic mallet, but it'd be a lot of effort.
And it wouldn't be as fun as just watching me.
And this is a lot more better. So let's do it here instead.
And it makes us look like more pros than we
I
are.
don't think we look very much like pros, so I don't think that's a real concern.
I mean, what kind of pro would have a busted up motorcycle in their
Well,
barn?
Motorcycle pro, I reckon. Let me see if I can find something that's over this.
But usually a pro would have a brand new motorcycle, wouldn't they?
I don't know. I've never had a brand new one. I wouldn't know.
While Dad looks for his tools, which might not be exciting, we will look at this table saw for some reason.
Well, we need to find something that fits over this top now. That pipe almost worked on the last one, but I think this one, oh, actually this is smaller. I was going to say to jam on there. Remember how it got stuck on the last one?
Yeah.
Well, this one is smaller, so it fits on this one better. Put that there. All right, let me get that straight. We don't want it to fly out at us, right? This part here looks a little crooked to me. I definitely don't want that to fly out at us. Get it all lined up so it's pushing straight down if we can.
Because if it flies out, it'll break a $10,000 camera.
I don't think the camera costs that much. More, it'll break our teeth. What does that one guy says? Give us summer teeth. Some are over here, some are over there.
Summer teeth?
Summer teeth. All right, watch your eyeballs. I think we're there. It doesn't seem like it wants to go down anymore, and I don't want to. We don't want to overdo it, right? We don't want to overdo it, so we'll call that good enough. So, got her back together. She still works. You're looking at me or the truck. You're all over the place, dude. Still works. If we had jaws, we could have replaced them, right? Got it all figured out?
Yep.
You know what you're doing?
Yes.
Someday you'll be able to do your own?
Oh, look. It's a very bad storm. Maybe even a tornado, I would say. And goodbye.